find on CarolJo's. It is where community and creativity come together and where we have fun. We do different things here in the lives. It isn't all about the jewelry I made. It's about doing tutorials, doing chats, and doing live events where you guys can claim items that we've talked about when we're doing the tutorials. It's also where you can claim items throughout different things that we've got available so that you can create your own items. That was really difficult to get out. Holy wow. Anyways, so we have normally tutorials twice a week, and we have chats twice a week. This week, because of changing it, hi Amanda, we're only going to have one chat this week. Sorry everybody. Hi Rose. And then we are moving the tutorial that we're going to have this afternoon down to here. Hi Nordic Luna, because I thought, you know what, this is more important than our chat to get this information out. We were talking about it yesterday with part 1, and so I thought it was a great that we continue it, and so I thought we'll just move the tutorial till tonight. So, hi Candy. What the tutorial is about, it is about the building blocks of jewelry making. It's all about what you need to create jewelry. Yesterday we talked about that there's the components and then there is the findings. So there was both of those. And I forgot to say, if you guys can get 10 shares, 10,000 likes, we'll start doing giveaways. Forgot to say that. Sorry, everybody. But the thing is that we wanted to continue. We talked about, we got through yesterday talking about what's the difference between components and findings. And then we started talking about some of the findings. We talked about the clasps and closures. We talked about jump rings versus split rings. We talked about head pins, eye pins, and that type of stuff. And then we talked about the stringing material, which would be like your cords, your wires, or different types of stringing, like the nylon cord, all of that type of stuff. So we talked about that. So next up, what we're going to talk about in this, and this is an interactive session, which means if you have questions or if you have comments, please put them in the chat so that we can talk about it. Because I use things a certain way, but we found out yesterday other people use some of the things in a different way. You might not, but guess what? Someone else might. So I'm just going to block that message. That wasn't kind. This is a place for kindness. And if I see that, I will turn comments off on YouTube. Hello, Ashley. Hey, Meg. Hi, Robin. I was going to say, did I miss anybody else? Hi, Rosie. Hi, Cece. Just going back through. Hello, David. Hi, Lisa. So we're going to be talking about some more about the findings and also about the components. And so, hey, Lulu. We're going to talk about next spacer beads and accents. I think I got it okay. So far, that was the only one. Thank you, David. I really appreciate that. So we've really, one of the things I'm going to say about spacers is we saw it on, I went and did something with Ryan earlier today. Okay, thank you. This is, we are doing a live tonight. It's a tutorial where we're going to talk about the different items that we can use to make jewelry. That's what we're doing tonight. But spacer beads, we talked about it when we did, I'm going to grab the necklace, and it really was a spot where we finally talked about how spacers, he's having a little bit better, but not 100% there. We just got to make sure he's good so we can go to Thanksgiving. All right. So when we looked at this, we put spacers into this necklace to help the flow of the design. It really, truly, remember we talked about when we did this, that we were only putting the spacers in sporadically, not, we did it every 3 beads. We didn't do it every bead to help the flow of the jewelry. So when you look at your design, how do you want it to flow? You can use spacer beads to help the flow. And this one was our first time that I really actually talked about that. We hadn't really talked about it before in the past, but that is what we want to have happen, is that your eye flows to the upwards of this because of how we use the teardrop bead, and we put the spacers sparingly. And that is what it is about. So that's one thing that spacers are used for. They are also used for, you can use them as accents. So sometimes if you use bigger spacers, oh, sure, I can tell you here, Robin, this is I believe it was the 7, or not 7, it is the 9 to 10 millimeter size teardrop. That's also 4 millimeter around, I believe is what the size of it is. But there's different sizes of teardrops you can make this with. And then the spacer bead is a 3 millimeter, or no, this one's a 4 millimeter size spacer bead. So just a smaller spacer bead. That's all it is teardrops and a spacer bead. So that is what we got. Oh, okay, I just have to ask really quick, since Nordic Luna and Ashley are talking about weather. How much snow did you end up getting, Ashley? Yes, it is wire. We did it with wire, and then I used a lobster claw clasp and some split rings to finish it off. So that's how you can use spacer beads to help the flow of a design. Yeah. We had the wind too, but we did not have any snow. We got like just this little bit. It didn't even cover the whole yard. It was like, really? That was it? You're welcome, Robin. But you can also use spacer beads, just depending on what they are. If you use a larger one, like here, we only used a 4 millimeter. If you use a larger one, it could be an accent bead. So spacer beads can be used to help the flow or to create a larger accent type thing. As I say, my part of South Dakota did not get snow. If you go up north of us, they did get snow. I know, and it's a very, very easy, simple necklace that does create a flow. And that's one of the things that we haven't really thought about when we've talked about the design, is to get that flow in there. I've used a lot of different things for accents, and we've used spacer beads for it, but we've never talked about why. And so that's why I want to do that here when we're talking. If you use heavier, larger accent beads, it's going to create a different effect than if you use something that's delicate. And the delicate spacer beads could be a bead that is a filigree bead, which that means that there's cutouts in the bead, and it's just it can be a circular with cutouts in it. And that's where depending on the look, some of the Tibetan style that we do, there is a lot of heaviness to some of those, especially when you get to the larger sizes. It's the heaviness. So hi Melissa, you have to think about how heavy or soft, delicate you want it to be, versus is it to help in the flow, or is it to be an accent? And that's what we use spacer beads for. So thank you for the heart me there, Melissa. I appreciate it. So that's one of the things I want to talk about when we're talking about spacer beads and accent beads. They're pretty much usually the same thing, but just how you use them. You also will use, and we talk about these a lot, you can use charms, pendants, or focals. When I think of focals, I always go to the silicone focals and how that can make it be different. I don't have a focal here on my... Yes, I do. Here we go. We got Grow Your Mind. This is a focal. It is where your eye goes to in any piece, whether it be an accessory or a piece of jewelry. That's where I want you to think about when you think about focal. Where does your eye go? Is that the first place? You can have like a pendant be the focal. I don't have any here. Like I was thinking about my one where I have the chain and then I have the teardrop shaped bead come down. That's a focal. So you have your charms. Your charms are going to be a softer, smaller. They may look like a pendant in some eyes, but I always think of charms are flat. Some of them are 3D, but most of them are flat. But you will also have them be under an inch. Oh no, no. But hey, at least they liked them. Oh lordy. We have someone over here coming in with different names. I might have to have you go over there, Ashley. Sorry. So that's what I want you to think about when we do pendants are larger, charms are smaller, okay? So that's something to think about with those. And that's all I'm going to probably say on it. But we all know how we can use pendants or charms or anything to make it an accent or the focal point of the jewelry or the accessory like we do with silicones. Now we're going to talk about earring wires, earring components. You can have the fish hook, which is what I normally use, which I'm just going to grab this here because it's sitting next to me and I have that one. This is a fish hook. So there you go. I'm going to show both sides here. That's a fish hook wire. You can have the lever back, which is, I don't have a lever back in my findings, but it is the one where you have a little hinge on the back and you can have studs. That's the normal, what we see for 4 different types of earrings. Oh, cool. I love that, Geraldine. So that's the thing to think about with those. You can use jump rings that we talked about earlier to add length to those earrings so that they face the right way, have the right length, and that type. You got clip-ons also. And clip-ons can be where you have them dangle down, or they can be more like a post-like. So clip-ons can go either dangles or post look to them. So that is some of the things I want to do. You use, normally if you're going to do dangles, you're going to use a head pin to get those beads to hang from it. Hi, Murda. You will also, so you'll use, I use dangle or head pins to create my dangles. Then depending on which way we're going, do I need to add a jump ring? And when I add jump rings, I will add like a 3mm to an earring if I don't want that to be my focal, like where I want somebody to look at. If I want them to look at it and it be a focal part, I'm going to use like a 10 or a 15mm textured jump ring to give that more focal and have a dangle off of that. I won't wear the dangles because I don't wear dangles, but that is how I create dangle earrings. And the dangles can go on the lever backs. They can go on the fish hooks. And also you can do where you are going to you can take a post that has a little bit of a loop at the bottom and you can create a dangle from a post too. So just because it's a post doesn't mean it can't dangle. If you want an earring that doesn't dangle, then you're going to use the posts. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, there's 2 things that I want to tell you about. I don't have my backup account, so if somebody takes care of their list, we might hear the ding. Sorry, because that's where my dings are at. But thank you to whoever that was. When you have posts, you're always going to have an earring back, and they are called, the metal ones are usually called, why did the name just go out of my head? I didn't write it down. It's like the butterfly where you got the 2 loops, and I cannot think of the name, but the metal backs is what I normally put on my post earrings. But for my fish hook, I actually take a It's made out of like, it can be like a rubber-like material or plastic material, silicone-like, and put those backs on just so that you don't lose your fish hook. You don't need a back for a lever back because it has that secure hinge and you won't need it for that. Well, hello, Miss Joya over here on YouTube. So yeah, so that's some of the things that I do. Some of them I do backs, some don't need backs, that type of thing. But the other thing is you need to make sure the weight of your earrings are okay, because we all live, not all of us, I shouldn't say we all, a lot of us lived in the 80s with the really heavy earrings, and those pull your ears down and would pull your holes down too. So you want to make sure your earrings are not that heavy that we're going to be pulling ears, because that's not fun. So make sure that they are. Yeah, she's over here hiding, she said. And so that's the thing. There are ways we can get really big earrings and keep them lightweight. And I'm always looking for different ways. Having large cutout wood earrings is a great way. Using larger beads that are going to not always be large glass beads or gemstones, because sometimes those gemstones get really heavy. So you got to think about different things that you can use to get them. Epoxy, when you've got those resins and epoxies, they work wonders for it. One of the things that I was going to say is that I am trying to find different beads that look like glass, but they're acrylic, so that it doesn't weigh everything down. I just wear the studs. I've always just pretty much wore studs throughout most of my life, just because I'm self-conscious about my holes are not even. I know that sounds really weird, but symmetrical. I'm a symmetrical girl. So yeah, so those are some of the things to think about when you're picking out your beads and the findings for your earrings. Yep, and some people just love them. I just can't do it. But that doesn't mean if you're someone that does in-person events or host events on social medias and such, it doesn't mean that that's all you do, because there are people that like all the different types of earrings. And that's the thing we got to remember is there's going to be people that want lightweight, delicate, and there's people that want the big flash. That's what I'm going to say. It's flash. Some people are all about the bling too. You can get those faux druzy resin earrings. If you did the true druzy, it would be very heavy. Finding some really good faux resin to emulate that keeps your earrings lightweight. So those are the things we got to think about. And you can make them. You just got to find the right components and findings. Those are our 2 words. So the other things that I want to talk about is just different. When I put this together, we all know what beads are. And we talked a lot about beads in the last a couple of chats and stuff. And we continued in the chat. So I don't want to spend as much time here talking about the beads, because we spent a lot of time talking about glass beads, natural beads, resin, and acrylic. We talked about mother of pearl. We've talked about pearls. We talked about porcelain and ceramic and all the different kinds. What? A pair of clackers? What are clackers? Now I need to know. You're gonna have to show a picture, I think, for us to go, okay. Because I'm like, I've never heard that. Okay, you got to tell me what it is. And I'm like, is it your geographic area? Oh, so, but other things that you need to make jewelry. Ah, it's a toy. Okay, now I'll go Google it and look it up. I know what they are. All I can think of is it the hand thing that you clack, clack, clack with? Is that what we're talking about? Where you got the 2 hands on the stick? Yep. Okay. Then I know. I didn't know that's what it's called. Okay. So, but some other things that are helpful when you're designing is we always talk about, and they work. So do you walk? Do they go clack, clack, clack when you walk around? Um, when I am giving you guys the size of everything, we talk about everything in millimeters. And one of the things I don't think that we talk about a lot is like how to correlate the millimeter towards a thing that we would know, because in the United States, we're not metric, we are inches, you know. So one thing to think about that always helped me is 25 millimeters is very close to an inch. So when I say charms, when we're doing charms on Saturdays, you know, for the charm events, I am keeping charms that are under 25 millimeters. That's funny, Lulu. I love it. And so those will be under. And then we get to the pendants. Sometimes our pendants are going to be under because to me, a charm is simple. And I know that's going to be a really weird way to say it, simple. But when we get the enamel in there and get the printing in there and that type of stuff, to me, that's more of a pendant than a charm. That's just how I feel about it. And it might not be what you guys think. So yeah, I think they went away. I did end up blocking two, and it was the same person. They just had a different number when I blocked them. So I think they might be gone now. One thing with YouTube, there's trolls. Lots of trolls. It stinks. And I thought tonight was going to turn into one. But as soon as I asked Ashley to go over there, they stopped. Seriously. Really? But hey. So I wanted to let you know, when we talk about millimeters, it is, if you look at it, you can kind of correlate it to an inch if it's 25. If I say something is 20 millimeters, it's going to be just a little bit under an inch, between 3/4 and like, it's not even going to be close to 7/8, you know, that type of thing. If I say something is 12 millimeters, that's close to a half an inch. If it's 10, it's just a little bit under. It's not near a quarter. It's just a little bit under a half an inch. So those are the ways to help when I say what they are, as to how to think about it. Yep. It can be. Yep, they do. And that's where I say it creates the accents that you need for your designs. So over here, Joya said, sometimes spacer beads also upgrade your creations. And that's true. So that's the thing to think about when we talk about the millimeters. Now, woohoo, we got to 10K. I was going to say, if you guys want to come back over here, because it's easier to do giveaways over on TikTok, you guys sure can. I'm going to grab this here. I got to think about a color. All right, I'm going to start it there. So go ahead, everybody, and put colors in the chat, please. Okay, I will. Thank you, Ashley. Ryan and I. Well, God, it's raining, and it's not the S word. or the I word. All right, I'm going to give you guys a clue. It is a secondary color. Did you get everything all moved and brought in so you don't have to worry about it in yucky weather? I'm talking to Joya over here. She moved. Yay, somebody got it. 2 people got it. First was Nordic Luna. And then Meg was second. So Nordic Luna, you have 5 creative credits on your list. So congratulations. Woohoo. So, one of the things, that's all it takes. I say that all the time when you guys say, I guessed one word, that's all it takes. I know sometimes you guys ask the length of the bead strand, and I don't always put it in there because yes, you can take the bead strand and convert it into how many. There's a conversion chart. There's a lot of places that you can see that conversion chart of, let's say there is an 16-inch strand and it's with 4 millimeters. It would equal however many beads would be on there. You know, there are conversion charts for that. But in reality, it's really hard to do that on the fly while we're in the lives as quick as we do. And the reason why I say that is because they used to have like a standard size when I first started creating jewelry and stuff with the strands. Strands were usually between 15 and 16 inches long. It was like standard. And if it got to 15, you were like, ooh, you know, that's a little short. I know this sounds really weird, but when I first started doing it, it was like that. As times have changed with trying to keep costs looking low, they have decreased the strand size in some cases and kept the cost the same. So, okay. So that's why I don't always put the length of the strands, because the strands, some of them are going to be 7 inches, some are going to be 9, some will be 10, they'll be 13, they'll be 14, they'll be 15 and 16. They're all over the place right now. And that's why I give you guys how many beads there are on the strand on average. And I don't always count how many beads are on there when I'm getting them ready. And maybe I should, but I'm going off of what my supplier gave me more times than not. I'm being 100% honest with you guys. So one of the things when you're, you know, trying to think about it and make a quick decision when we're on the lives, I think it would help, and this is where I'm just coming from information. If you understand, you know, a standard bracelet size is going to be 7.5 or 8 inches, depending on what you make for your average. Oh yeah, that I would say yes, I agree, because they're usually about a 7-inch strand most of the time. And so that's where, you know, if we can say, okay, we have a 12 millimeter size bead, that's a 1/2 inch, and we want 7, but we're going to have some spacers. So I'm going to need somewhere between 10 and 14 beads to make a bracelet. I mean, that's like how we need to do quick math. Hi, Lori. And that's why I'm saying about, you know, helping you with your designs and creating and knowing what you need for beads and then the other items and stuff, depending on how you're going to do it. But if you can quick go, okay, if you know, if you have it in your head that on a 10 millimeter, I am going to need 13 to 17, depending on my design. You know, that's where I want to say, just ballparking it. Thank you for the gifts, Robin. I appreciate that. The other day when we were on a live, we were talking about the breakaway class that like Lulu, Geraldine, and Jessie were talking about because they use them because they have children that are younger. So I want to show you what the breakaway class. We didn't talk about them last night, but I'm going to talk about them here. This is a breakaway class. It is just a plastic, but you do this and you open it up. You have the male end, which is this side, and this is the female end. So male, female. And what you do is you put, if you notice here, we have the hole. So you put your wire through here or your cord, whatever it is, and then you bring it through, you tie a knot, and then you can put them together. And that's your clasp for those bracelets that they're making. It just makes it easier that if a kid's going to pull on it, it's not going to hurt them. They're called breakaway clasps. So I use them like on lanyards, but I never thought about using them for bracelets. But they talked about using them for bracelets, and I was like, great idea. And that's what this community is about, is sharing in that type of thing. And so I thought it was a great thing. And we talked about it, but I forgot to bring it up in the class part last night. They were sitting here on my table because we were talking, or I got them for Jessie and for Lulu. And I had one left, and I need to take one pack downstairs. So that's what those can be used for. Yep, it makes it easy for them to take it on and off too. We talked about yesterday, because these are in my notes, earlier we talked about the gauge of your wire, whether it be your wire that you're using to make your design or head pins and that type of thing. When you talk about gauges, your gauge has to be smaller than your hole. Yep, they can be used for card charms. See, there's lots of uses for things, but we don't always think about how else can we use it. And when you figure out something and you figure it out, I think it's great to share. We talked about your hole size. You know, most standard holes are the 1 millimeter. Your, your freshwater pearls are going to have a smaller. They're usually around a half a millimeter, 0.5. So those are the things that we think about when you're doing it. Yes, you sure can, Lori. Yes, they are out there. Tonight's will be there, and last night's will be there. Purse charms. Oh, that's a good one, Geraldine. See, that's what, or not Geraldine. I'm sorry, Griselda. I saw G and I went to Geraldine. Sorry. But that's what I love about this. We're all giving each other ideas. One thing when you are looking at your beads, we have thrown a lot of information in these two tutorials that it might be something that, you know what, watch it a few times, wait a week or so in between, rewatch it. That way you might find something that you missed before. I have one package of white and I have some black downstairs. I just don't know how many black I have. They are 5 in a bag for 1.25 value. Some of the things that we didn't talk about when we talked about the beads, or when we've talked about like stretch cord. Woohoo! We did 20K. So we're going to do another giveaway. Thanks, Joya. You want to make sure when you look at your beads on the sides, do they feel rough? Like where your hole is at and where it's going in at. If you are going to be doing, okay, I will get that one for you. I'll just write this down on here so I don't forget. Thank you. There. I put that in I'll put it on your list and then put it in your basket. You don't want rough edges if you're going to use like stretch cord, because it will, I don't know how else to say it, then it like saws at the stretch cord and then you break. I gotta figure out. Thank you so much, Lori, for the gifts. Let's see. Thank you for the heart me, sweet heartstrings. This is a 2-word color. And I don't know that I've ever done this color before, but it popped in my head. You know what I think I'm going to do for our colors for Friday and Saturday? We have Thanksgiving with my aunt and uncle, and then one of my cousins is always there with her kids and her husband. And I thought, you know what? We've got a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old. We've got Buttercup, who's 9. Then we have all the adults, and have them put down 5 to 10 colors. And then we can create a list from the help of my family. I seriously was thinking we should do that as a little thing. My aunt does daycare, so her tablecloth is usually some sort of like Thanksgiving pattern, but we can use markers and crayons, and we sit around and talk, and we color in the tablecloth. It's a tradition that she's always done. All right, I'm going to give you a clue. This is outside, and it can just be lush. It can be, I got to think of another word. I can't even think of all the different names of it. All right, we have 2 people who guessed it. Cece was first, and Sweet Heartstrings was second, and it's green grass. Green grass. So Cece, you will have 5 creative credits towards your list. I was like, I was just thinking being outside and you walk in the grass. That's what I was thinking. So congratulations. All right. Some of the other things that I have, you're very, very welcome. I know, but you know what? There was like 2 or 3 people that did grass green instead of green grass. I wasn't looking at everything, but I was getting, it was funny. We were trying to tell Buttercup when she gets home from school to not eat a lot. Yes, you were hungry. You're really wanting to eat like a supper at that time, but we're not all here to eat a supper. And, and that's funny. But it's not time to eat everything so that you're full. It's just to curb. And so, because then she won't eat supper. So we had to have a talk about that today, about when you're hungry. And she came upstairs and she's like, can I have a snack? And we're like, it's supper time. Can we eat supper now? Because we were just put it in the crock pot. So we decided to eat right away. And it was 6 o'clock. So yeah. Some of the things to think about is checking the plating of items. And this comes from, I do a lot of things with like the platings and such. We ended up having to, for her, just to let you guys know, it's a really weird thing, and I don't like it because it's expensive. Getting snack size bags pre-done at the store, because even if we buy it and like give it to her, she'll just keep going back. So we've had to do that, and I'm going to say the word hate. I hate it because it's so much more expensive. It gets expensive buying it that way, but we're trying to minimize so she eats supper. We've tried, and what happens is we'll put them in there, and she just goes back, and you're like, no. I know it's not, everybody has the problem, so it's like, oh. Yep. And she can sit down with a bag of chips and eat the whole bag in a sitting. And it's just like, and she's skinny. And we're like, someday it's going to catch up with you. But you want to always check when you have those type of, the plating on your beads. Because sometimes, I try to buy what I can to make sure it's in there. But sometimes they will wear off. And that is just part of the process. So when you go to use them, check them before you put it on there, so you didn't put it on and then see it and you're like, oh, crawdads. Hi, you. Huh? It's not even anywhere near.
I know.
Oh, okay. What's up?
Something come up.
Oh. Huh?
Is it chat night?
Nope, it's a tutorial where we're talking about what you use to make jewelry.
You use string and beads. Duh.
They're saying, hello, Buttercup. Yeah, sometimes they do. Not all the time are they like that, Lori. There are some that are, and I try to stay away from these. No, and that's your body's reaction to things. It's not weird. It's just your body is reacting to it. The one thing, there are some that are, they call them spray painted on, and those will wear off. I try not to find, if I find anywhere in the description of something, someone else says, hi, Buttercup, with your Buttercup sticker. If it has anything to do with spray painting, I don't try to get those to bring up. If they don't tell it in the description, I don't know it when I get it, and I try not to put those up, but sometimes they happened. Oh, you got a pretty ring. So those are just some of the things. I try not to have those, but you know, you guys are, I'm not the police of the bead world where I'm saying you have to buy from me only. I just want you to know, in case you got something from somebody else, that does happen. And that's why I want you to check them before you go to make your design, just to make sure. Because man, if you made it all the way together, it would just really stink. And we talked about jump rings being larger if you're going to have an object on it that you don't want it to open. And I meant by the gauge. These, not a larger number. It's actually a smaller number, but it's a thicker wire.
Okay, pick your favorite ring. We got number 1.
Are you deciding what you're wearing tomorrow?
No, I'm just asking them which one.
Oh.
Got number 1. Then
I just look at them.
Then there's
I honestly look at them, and I don't test by rubbing on them or anything.
Then there's number 2.
Ooh, I like 2. And that's just me. And you guys can say, somebody else might do something different and have a better idea. And I'm always open for you guys. You guys are very vocal about it, and I would love it if you put it in there.
And number 3. So I'll show
I'm
you.
like 2 or 3.
I'll show you all of them one more time.
Yep. Oh, number 3, number 3. Number 2.
So here's number 1. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Lori's like me. 2 or 3.
Number 2. And then number 3. This is personally my favorite because I'm not a big fan on like all of the jewels. I just want one main jewel or like tiny ones. I think you guys all like 3.
So you're thinking 3?
It's my favorite one anyways.
Okay. All righty. All right. So those are some of the tips that I have. Let me see what else I wrote down here. Because you guys, I wasn't going to remember this all. I have it all written down to make sure I've got everything. 3's the winner. And they say some of the beginner mistakes. And the thing is that not even as a beginner can you make these. Anybody can do it. Is using the wrong size jump rings. You know, and what they mean by the wrong size is the gauge. We've talked about that a lot, where it ends up, it will fall off. Also, don't closing them correctly will make them fall off too. I know. The middle, the reason why I said the second one, everybody, is because that's her favorite color. It was more of a peachy pink. But the other one just looked more stunning on her. So that's why I was like 2 or 3. You want to make sure if you're choosing wire cords, the stretch cord, that kind of stuff, you want to make sure that you're actually using one that fits the bead more so. If you go with too thin, it will, the weight of the beads will stretch the stretch cord, and it can break or needs to be restrung. In this one, I watched a TikTok the other day about things that we do, and they were asking if anybody else had done it. And she's done this for a long time. She made jewelry for a long time, and she did this. She accidentally used, it wasn't that she accidentally used, she wanted gold spacer beads, and so she was just using the small ones like these, and she used silver for the closure when she wanted gold, because you didn't think about it, and you just always, you naturally go to that. Ooh, I love that idea, Nordic Luna, putting a drop of epoxy on your jump ring so that they don't open. Clear quartz is a little bit, it's not clear. And I know that's going to sound like an oxymoron. It's going to be cloudy on the inside because of the natural components of it, that it has like lines or cloudiness to it. So that's one thing that I know the difference between it, and that's how I usually look at it without, there's tests you can do. I don't do the tests, but that's how you can, and people say natural stones aren't cold. I've had natural stones that are cold. So I don't believe in that. If someone wants to say differently, I'm open to it. But that is just something that I've noticed. They can be natural and they still feel cold to me. And it's not that it isn't a natural. I don't know. Because, yep. And so that's why I don't go with that thought process and stuff. Oh, okay, Robin. I am tired. You can tell I have the bags here. Yep. Yeah. Ryan's whole entire sinus, ear, and all that jazz that's going on is affecting our sleep. I will tell you that. The other day, he didn't sleep, and he had to wake me up in the middle of the night to tell me he didn't sleep. And then I couldn't go back to sleep. Yep. Right.
This is dress picking outfit number 1. It's very Christmassy.
That was from last year's Christmas
concert.
Yep. Are you thinking about what you're wearing tomorrow?
Yeah, can I please show this outfit?
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because you can't show you.
I can like turn my head away.
Oh.
Okay, so move your chair.
I'm not moving. No, you're not going on.
Please.
She wants to decide, should she wear the white shirt with a, there you go. With
So
the plaid.
Should I wear this? Or I'll be right back.
I just sat there going, and you woke me up, why? So, other things. I do love plaid too. Yep. And this has been going on for a while. And that's part of what we've this week been going back and figuring out, why is this lasting so long? What is going on? And it's just been a fun week. We all do this probably. Has anybody not measured something and finished it off because you thought it looked right? Has anybody done that? I have. I really have. And then it's wrong. And you're like, oh. Yep, you got to measure. And that's the thing, is you will always see. Yep, and that's what we're trying to figure out, why Ryan's is lasting so long too. And it's been in a week with that. But forgetting to measure and making sure it's going to be the right size for people, that is hard. Yeah, and he doesn't have allergies. And so it just, he's having pain in like from his ear down to here in this area. And so we're looking at and had x-rays done to see how his sinuses are and all that kind of stuff. I love it, Joya. I'm glad I'm not the only one. And the thing is that you can look at it and say, that's going to be fine. but it's not. Nope, we also went to the dentist. We and now because I want to advocate with him, so I'm going to his appointments to make sure that we are advocating to get this taken care of. So yeah, so that's what we're doing, and it's been woof. And so yep. He's tried it and that hasn't helped. Actually, the thing that has helped, and this is why we didn't think it was a tooth, is that if he drinks cold water or if he will like suck on an ice cube, it actually makes it go away. Yep. And so his dad actually just had his wisdom teeth removed and he's 71. Yep, 71. Yep, and he's been dealing with the drainage, and so we're just trying to figure it out.
This is runway outfit.
Number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, here's number 2.
Can barely walk in it.
Is it a little bit getting so small?
No, it's just too tight. It was always like too tight.
Oh. So this one is a pink sweater with floral and black.
And then I had to tie it in the back too.
Oh, there's a little tie in the back here.
I couldn't do anything because it was hacking back.
So that was number 2.
I have one more dress outfit, I think.
Okay. And she wants a new dress for Christmas. So we've been trying to figure out what one. She is her clothes have to be a certain way. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yep. And she is her mom is coming here tomorrow. So is what we're thinking. Nope, I was going to say, we even checked TMJ also. And that is not the issue. Yep, there are a lot of possibilities. So we're just trying to figure them all out. But when he doesn't sleep, I don't get to sleep. Because, we love our husbands. And they love to make sure we know what's going on with them. Oh, not me. If I tried... Geraldine, you're cracking me up. But I will tell you, the other night, he went to sleep on the couch and left me in the bedroom, but came up to the bedroom to tell me he wasn't sleeping. Yeah, I don't know if he's really not wanting to give up right now and just to figure it out. I just sat there and I pretty much sat up in bed when he woke me up because I was like, what? And then I couldn't go back to sleep. I've gotten more sleep than he has, but it was funny. Yep. And that's the thing, is that he does. And he is, I will tell him that, Paula, when he's going outside, he's covering his ears right now to make sure that the wind doesn't get in there or the cold doesn't get in there. We're trying everything. Just what we're doing. We are going to my aunt and uncle's. And I don't know if Buttercup will be with us or she'll be here with her mom. And so, because her mom wants to see her. And so they might come here and just the two of them so that they can spend quality time together. And then we will go to my aunt and uncle's. How about everybody else? What are you guys' Thanksgiving plans? Anybody hosting? I don't host Thanksgiving. I host Christmas usually. Going to your cousin's house. Cool. I actually don't put anything on my ears very often. There you go. So did his friend come with you to the new place then, Joya? Or is it just the two of you? Oh, boy. And you only have one sister. Really?
This is runway outfit number 3.
Oh. Okay. You're hosting. That one I'm going to say no to.
I know.
Because it's a little bit short.
I know.
It's cute, but it's a little short. So this one's the third one, but I'm saying, and it's a pattern like that all the way around. Oh, there you go. But it's a little short. So no.
I already knew. I was like, I really like this design, but I don't like the height. But when I showed it to, when I was like wearing it with my mom, and I was calling her, and she was like, "What the heck are you wearing?" And I thought she was gonna kill me through the phone. So I was not gonna pick this. I just wanted to wear it.
Your working page. It's a cute print. It's just a little bit, it's like mini skirt, and I don't want her.
It's like half of it. It's an inch away from my butt.
It's very close. That's what I was like. Oh,
The pink one.
I know you love her. We got 30K. I was hoping we'd get there. Everybody's like,
Wait, can I please pick a color? I know what color I'm picking.
she doesn't wear those colors. She doesn't like them.
What colors?
Sage or tan?
So my colors I wear are teal, black, white, like baby pink. I wear like
Softer colors.
yeah. And then I just wear them with like kind of like a burgundy.
Yep. Okay, which color are you
I'm
going
picking
for?
it.
She's picking her color. So hold on and I'll get it. And then, can I read it? Okay. I know what it is.
So do I.
All right, there we go. We got it.
Oh, somebody already has it.
Woohoo!
I think they would hurt us.
Lulu. Did you hear us talking there, Lulu?
Get out.
2 people got it.
I think they heard us talking.
Let's see what they said. Hold on. She heard.
Can we pick a new one?
No, we can just go with it.
Yeah, can we have Lulu win, but then we do another one?
Okay, we can do that. You heard what just show me the color.
Okay.
All right, so Lulu will get that one, but she wants to do it again. So she says, Lulu, you should get it. So you got it. So we're going to do, and those of you who want to know what wisteria is, can you hand me wisteria? Because we've talked about, it's this one.
It's a flower.
So now we know. And we're going to do this one.
You have to do that exact
Ooh.
color.
You have to do, this is not going to be an easy one, everybody.
It's like, it's a not real thing mixed with, yeah, I already have my hint.
Okay, you guys go ahead and put it in there. And there's 2 words to this color.
There, can I get it?
Well, I think it's, hold on, I want to see.
Yeah, it is one of the special ones.
Yep.
Dang, they're going all out. They getting all the good colors. They got cotton candy, grilled cheese.
Ooh, light melon.
Elderberry purple. Everyone's doing cranberry red. We should get more in the spirit. So boring, people.
Hup.
Yeah, bye.
The 32 pack, limited edition.
Yeah, that's what you
With 8, what is it?
with 8 of the retired colors. You gotta buy that.
Woohoo,
Oh, they
so
got
one.
it. I think they.
Hold on, it might be the same person, so we gotta give someone else a try. I want to wait to see if someone else gets it. Think retired color, everybody.
So, my hint is it's a not real thing mixed with a shade of green.
Let me look. Hold on.
Somebody
I
got
gotta see.
it.
Hold on. I'm gonna see. Yep. Okay.
Everyone's going
For it. All right. Lulu had it last time, so Geraldine will get it this time. And then Lulu was next.
No, it was
You know,
Luna.
we should do
It was
Nordic Luna. Sorry, I said Lulu. Holy buckets. You know what I'm going to do? Because I can. Or did she already get one? She already got one. So we're not going to do that one. Okay,
so Nordic Luna got it.
No, Geraldine gets it because Nordic Luna already had one earlier tonight.
Wait, guys, it's in my
Woo!
Guys, I got a maraca.
So, but look, it was magic mint because it is one of the retired colors.
And her name is Magic. Okay, so for Dandelion Yellow, we got Dandy, real iconic. And then for Magic Mint, we got Magic. For Blizzard Blue, we have Blitz. For Violet Blue, we have Viola. For Lemon Yellow, we have Lemmy. For Orange Red, we have Angie. For Raw Umber, that's so random. We have Bree. Wait, that's even more random. Gosh, Crayola, you gotta think in the box.
No.
For Mulberry, we have Molly. I'm so upset with the freaking Raw Umber.
No, don't use that word.
I'm so upset with hecking.
No hecking either. We're trying. She's replacing swear words, and we're not allowing her.
Words.
We're not allowing it.
With gosh darn. Raw Umber and Brie. Like, do they make sense?
Umber. It is UMBER, right?
Yeah, I said
Umber. Yep, it's Umber. Yes, is it Umber or Amber? Umber. The retired color is Umber. UMBER.
Yeah, you just said that like 5 times.
Okay, I'm just spelling it. Merry Christmas, I love you. You're welcome. So yes, so she was using the box of Crayola crayons that are hers. Oh, I got to exit the game. There we go. I didn't do that. All right, everybody.
Like, make this make sense.
Holy buckets. I say that a lot. Everybody have an awesome Thanksgiving. And I am going to be off just being with family all day tomorrow. Going to Aunt and Uncle's for lunch. And then we're going to come home and have supper with, Courtney and Buttercup.
But I'm not going to the aunts and uncles because I want to hang out with my mother.
Yep. So that's going to be a family day. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you 2 p.m. on Friday for our fun Black Friday and Small Business Saturday event.
Thanks.
2 p.m. Central.
You cut me off. I was saying thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry. She wants to say something.
I said thanks, Nordic Luna.
Oh, okay.
She said, have fun, Buttercup. Like, how sweet. And then you cut me off.
Oh, sorry. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.